Okay, just give me a minute here. I listened to this brother Emary Smith yesterday, and I would suggest that every one of you out there listen to what he says. He doesn't work for. I'm just going to close the door here. He works for above Majestic 12 on that, for different corporations, working on various projects, and I believe this guy is legit. And you're not going to see this on conventional means, but there's a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes in these different black op programs, and he has a very high clearance, and so he's basically letting the cat out of the bag as far as what's happening, as far as the space program being 1,000 years advanced than what we're being shown. Different technologies to heal the planet, clean up the waste, and all this stuff. So I'm basically saying that the black ops that he's working in, these different underground bases and facilities that he's been working in these past 20 years, they have the cures for all diseases. They have the means to clean up Fukushima, to clean up the oceans and all this. So this stuff is here, right? This different high tech is here. That's been back engineered from fallen alien craft. And I'm not getting into we know that Satan is coming as an angel of light and to deceive the world. And what I'm saying is that when the man of sin appears, there will be full disclosure concerning all these cures and scientific breakthroughs to benefit the planet. And we're going to see alien craft appear worldwide with these different beings coming out to usher in a golden age, right? To resurrect Atlantis, so to speak. And it's all going to be legit. They're going to have the means for unlimited energy to heal all the sick, to clean up the planet. But if you look at it from God's perspective, this is the illusion. This is the coming deception, where when the man of sin comes, he's going to let all this out. And many people will follow the Antichrist because he has the cure to all things. But also, on the other hand, he's been responsible for all the troubles that have plagued the planet. And so mankind will be ushered into a golden age. In order to partake of this golden age, you're going to have to bow down and worship Lucifer and take his mark. And so I would suggest very strongly for you to listen to what this man has to say. I believe that he's a believer. He doesn't bring it out, but I do see it in his eyes that he's a believer, right? He's a believer in the truth. And so this led me into researching David Wilcox. I was listening to one of his recent podcasts where he had David Brinkley on his podcast, and I was watching that, and they get into a lot of different things, sharing a lot about the different faiths, especially all these monks and all that spend their, they try to stay in a state of peace for 13 years in order to come to a place where they can transcend off this earth, right? But if you look at all of this stuff, and that the whole universe is made up of time and space. It's made up of time and space that is finite. That is finite, right? And it doesn't matter, if you come to a place of ascension, because this is what the new age, what Maitreya is going to usher in, the Antichrist is going to usher in, a time of ascension, that you can partake of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? For the betterment of humanity. But through it all, it doesn't matter, all these monks and all that, I know that their heart is right, but they're trying to ascend by their own means. They're not going through the door, which is Yeshua. And if you look at it, that they can only ascend into time and space, right? They can't ascend beyond time and space. That's what I'm saying. This is the message. That the sons of God that are coming, that the sons of Yeshua that are coming, will be able to ascend time and space, right? They'll be able to ascend beyond time and space into the very presence of the Father. And all these monks and gurus and out there, they'll never get there. They'll never get there because you're not going through the door which is Jesus. And this is where the persecution is going to come from. When Jesus walked this earth, he was able to transcend time and space. He was able to sit before his Father. He was able to ascend beyond the beyond the created realms. I'm not going to get into whether aliens are good, aliens are bad, whether God has other ascension life forms in the universe. He may have, right? Well, one thing is this, that this deception that's coming, this alien disclosure is coming, and they are coming to say, to fix up the world and to bring mankind into a false reality, to become gods in their own right. And this is what we need to be aware of. It doesn't matter about these technologies that are coming that's going to heal the earth. God has a plan. It's already written out in the scriptures, in Daniel, in the book of Revelations, what's going to take place, and it can't be changed. For a period of 3.5 years, you're going to see the earth brought into a golden age. That's what they're doing. That's what it's all about. To bring in this time of Nisara, right? And but on the other hand, God is raising up his sons and daughters, those who are going to come into full translation. They're going to come in translation. They're going to come into a change where they're going to take on the fullness of the light body. That they will be walking in the rainbow body, right? That you don't have to die in order to walk in your rainbow body. There will be a people here who will ascend beyond time and space, and that they will be walking in the full unction of the Godhead, of who Jesus is, right? And it may be hard for a lot of you to swallow this, but when the man of sin comes forth, the whole world is going to follow after him, because he's going to unveil all this stuff that's going to make the world better, as far as healing the planet, but also to say, well, if you, like these aliens that's going to come, these different hybrids that's going to come, that they're going to say, well, if you follow us, he can become like us, right? You can ascend beyond this planet. And so we need to be aware of that. This is going to be very captivating. And if you don't know your word, you're going to be caught off guards, and you will be taken captive by all this. That God has created the universe as we know it, right? That time and space is limited. But the sons of God that he's bringing forth will be able to ascend beyond time and space, where they will walk in these mortal shells, but yet they'll be walking in heavenly places. That the time and space is not the heavenly places, right? There's lots of stuff that goes out there where people are ascending and traveling around the universe and things like this, right? But that's not the end goal. This all is a delusion. It's true, but it's a delusion. It's a sidetrack. It's the people are going to be given a chance to partake of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, right? That's not salvation. That's not salvation. That the Father has a plan to bring forth a special creation, a special spiritual creation, where people will be walking and changed into the very image and likeness of Yeshua, walking on this earth and being able to transcend time and space, and to come into a place of full spiritual awareness, knowing all things. And that's what the gurus and the monks are trying to do. They're trying to come to this place of ascension where they know all things, but they will not get there unless they go through the door. So I'm making this video just to let you know that there are cures or scientific breakthrough that this guy has been working on, that's going to bring the world into a different place, right? This alien disclosure is going to happen, this cosmic disclosure is going to happen, and the whole world is going to say, are going to run to it. But don't get caught up with it. My brother is kind of leans this way, right? But the only truth is that Jesus is the one that died for us, and that he's about to return to speak face to face when the 3 days of darkness comes, before this move of God is going to take place to usher in the final harvest, that he's going to speak face to face with his laborers, with those chosen vessels that he's been preparing all this time. And he's going to send them out. But there's going to be a great spiritual delusion at the same time. Now remember, David Terrell, God's prophet to the world, he saw two mountains. He saw these two revivals. On this one mountain, he saw the man of sin standing on top of the mountain. And the whole world came up to him. On the other hand, there was this other mountain, and Jesus is standing on top, and only a few were climbing Mount Zion, right? We're seeking him. So there's going to be two revivals. One's going to be those who are coming into the fullness, where they will be the very expression of God's peace on earth, in earthen vessels, where the joy of the Lord is going to be a living reality, where they will be walking and knowing all things, having full comprehension where they're walking. They just know all things. Why I say that is I've been there in the 7 open visions when the Lord took me into the future. I believe he took me just before the 6th seal, and where I was walking, I knew everything without trying. I knew. had the mind of the Lord. And I was walking, knowing all things. And this is the time that we're coming into, that God's preparing his chosen elect to go forth, that they're going to be, like I'm saying that on 444 Prophecy News, Mike brings out that in his recent video that Jesus will appear to those he has been preparing, to his chosen elect, to for final instructions, before sending them out, before empowering them to go forth with the everlasting gospel. Right? We've come to the time of the harvest. This asteroid impact will happen. To what Ephraim Rodriguez is saying, that this asteroid impact must happen before revival begins. And we could be seeing this at the end of this month, or the early part of November. It's going to change everything. And I've been looking at what the Lord's been showing Dana Cornerstone. I've been looking at Dana Ashley's take on this and the recent videos that she got out concerning what's coming upon the world, and prior to the elections, a lot of stuff happening. So we need to prepare our hearts. And between now and the remainder of this month, that I need to use to focus my time on the Lord, to press in, to the peace of God that passes all understanding, right? To dwell in the presence of the Lord, and to be ready when the 3 days of darkness comes. And if we're not, it's going to take us by surprise, and fear is going to overwhelm us if we're not in the sacred place of the Lord, experiencing the peace of God. Because when the veil's removed, if you're not in the sacred place of the Lord, you're going to be shaken. I'm going to leave it here. Please take the time to search this guy out. What he's saying is true, and I believe that he is a believer, and he's just sharing from his heart, knowing that disclosure is in process, that a great delusion is about to come on the earth, right? Great spiritual delusion. So we need to be ready. We need to learn to stand in faith, not to be drawn into fear no matter what, to be at peace, knowing that the appearing of Yeshua to his sons and daughters, to his elect, is at hand. And not to miss the day of visitation, but to be ready for it. I'm going to end it here.